To my lovely co-host, welcome. How are you?
Welcome to Musician Loves Honey, and I am the musician.
Are you still on that mess, girl?
Yes.
You was go crazy. No,
Never
I'm the
mind.
musician. I'm Kevon Tyree, and of course, this is the lovely honey here, Maria.
I am the lovely Honey and the
Uh-huh.
musician.
You know.
Welcome to Musician Loves Honey, and I am the musician.
Are you still on that mess, girl?
Yes.
You was go crazy. No,
Never
I'm
mind.
the musician. I'm Kevon Tyree, and of course, this is the lovely honey here, Maria.
I am the lovely Honey and the
Uh-huh.
musician.
You know what? You are the lovely honey that is delusional, but I got you though. Ladies and gentlemen and hermaphrodites alike, welcome to the show. We are back, y'all, here on another lovely edition of Musician Loves Honey, right here on social media shows. If you're brand new to the show, go ahead and hit us a like, hit us a subscribe, and of course, go ahead and put the comments down below for anything you find interesting or not as interesting, because the internet, of course, is always interesting when people have negative things to say, because it's the internet. Well, of course you're going to have something bad to say. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
Well, people got to complain. They got to, speak
Because you
their
do
mind.
that all the time. You do that all the time. You put me on the line all the time.
What?
You cross that line all the time.
Wow.
You just steer everything all the time.
Well, what do you want me to say, man? I got the car, baby. Yeah, man. What do you want me to do? I'm supposed to steer. I'm supposed to steer, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to get it moving. All right. So before we go any further, we want to say, of course, welcome to everyone. And, of course, to my lovely co-host, welcome. How are you, beautiful?
I'm doing amazing.
All right.
Like as always, right?
Of course. I mean,
Yes.
looking lovely, of course.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
That's part of the job.
That is part of the job. Hello. How has your week have been since we've seen each other?
Oh, well,
last?
you know what? I had this photo shoot at the Fremont Street 3 nights ago.
That's right.
Yeah, we had a photo shoot. It's actually a Las Vegas, old Las Vegas style photo shoot.
Uh-huh.
And we had like over 200 shots, but I never seen them yet. I only seen one, the one with the cops behind me. That's the only one that I've seen. And thank you so much to my makeup artist and hairstylist, Rita Badjola, and to our professional photographer, Joe Berger. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I had so much fun. We actually went home like 4 in the morning because after the photo shoot, we have to, you get starved walking on that Fremont Street back and forth, and I'm wearing my 6 inches heels, walking back and forth, and
Yikes.
yeah, it's really fun. We went through all the end to the end of the thing, so everything is good. Yes. I don't know what you're looking for. Anyways, yes, we had so much fun. We had so much people actually asking us, what is this all about?
Well,
And by the way, Russell J-List, it's not a porn.
You know what? Say his name again. Russell, keep asking for porn, friend. Keep asking for porn. All right.
Oh, by the way,
keep asking.
Tonight we're gonna be at his place.
That's right, because they got the rock and rollers over there.
Yes,
all
please
right?
come and see us. They have a lot of artists coming in.
That's right,
including you, right?
I will do my best to make it there. I do have a rehearsal tonight, so I'll probably get there after you go and go.
Yes.
All right, because I just trying to say, trying to after you go.
That's not the plan. Okay?
That's not the plan. Okay, her plan is to lay out and be the petri dish for all the love. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right,
anyways, we want to say hi to our Pablo. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you,
Pablo.
All right, and also thank you to Stephen. Hi, Stephen. Steve-O.
Yep, Steve-O, my man.
Yes,
that's
and to
right.
Colin.
Right, of course we got JC. He's watching us. hiding. He's hiding out. I'll just put it that way. He's hiding out.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
our lovely fashionista, Mr. JC.
Yes, and also yes. Let me continue because I'm so excited about these pictures. And if you went to my page, actually, you will see those pictures. It's not colored because it's an old style Las Vegas
classic. Yes.
Yeah, classic. So, Mr. Berger actually called me and say, and he asked me to be a model.
Right.
And I said, it depends what is the theme. And I said, and he said, what theme do you want? And I said, why don't we do Marilyn Monroe type old style Las Vegas?
Okay.
And we were trying to find a fan in the Fremont Street. We couldn't find because it's perfect for my clothes.
Right, because you know the iconic the scene.
Yes,
where
we were trying
plaza.
To find. But it's still fun. We had so much fun. We had so much pictures and everything. So yeah, that's it. And also last Saturday I went, and after a year, I finally went and see this man perform again.
Yeah. That was at the Suncoast because me and my one of the bands I'm with, Absolute, we were there, and we had a great time. We've always been treated very well over at Boyd Gaming at the Suncoast, so thank you guys for once again enjoying your time with us and enjoying our high energy show. And it was a very fun time for a lot of interesting reasons, but at the end of the day, people had ball, man, and that's all we care about. People had a good time, had a good experience, and
this
we
man
can't ask for
can
nothing
sing.
more.
This man can sing. What is the name of your other performer there?
Well, that's Candice. Yeah, my singing partner, Candice.
Oh my God, she can sing. So
yeah,
good.
she's a very good singer.
Candice, I would like to invite you on Let's Talk World.
Well, we'll see if we can get her on, man. She stayed busy. She stayed busy and elusive, but I will shoot it out to her, see what she wants to do.
Okay.
All right, so I will do
fair.
that.
And I want to say, I want to acknowledge Mr. Estevo. Oh, honey, it doesn't work that way. Okay. So Estevo was saying.
Glad to see you at Rock and Rollers Jam Night. Yep, we will be there, my friend. So best believe we'll be out to shout out with you and chop it up with people. I'm sure Chris will be there in his usual fun, interesting self. You dig what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. You know what? So come on in. Do I like your hair?
Yeah.
And now you already know that everyone loves the spam that is you. You're just trying to open it. Yeah.
Because you know what? You keep on trying and it's not gonna happen, right?
What are you talking about? I am not a spam person. See, she wants to show off the shoes to show how spam-tastic she is.
I am.
Right.
I'm not just spam-tastic.
Well, you mean if you're going to be fantastic, you got to be spam-tastic because, you know, that's just what it is. You want to chop it up. You want to fry it. You want to grill it. Put some rice and some vegetables in. You know, give it a grill. Give it a little savor in your mouth. That type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. While she's right. While she's doing that, right? All right. So our topic of the day is going to be taking advantage or being taken advantage of. And this is a very interesting topic because on the male or the female side, they feel like that one side's being taken advantage or the other side is being taken advantage of. Both sides feel like the other one kind of has them by the vice grips, to put it nicely, for a change. Yeah. You know what I mean? Guys feel like girls get to take advantage of us because, you know, because they're beautiful and, you know, in a lot of cases, because chivalry, you know, in certain cases of what social norms are. For the women's side, because, you know, men are always dominant and they're always... No. I said, no, okay, well, let's usually, at least, and let's put it this way. Socially speaking, they're supposed to be dominant. And so they're supposed to be the take charge in the relationship. And always kind of have that initiating type situation, which kind of, in a lot of instances, historically, socially speaking, women feel like, well, you're taking advantage of me or you're using me or whatever the case is. My take, well, I don't want to get into it too much, but I'll say my take on this is a bit of a blend, but we will dive into that even more so later on in the show. Yep. You know, so we don't want to get too deep into it right now.
Yes, we're going to go on that on the second segment. Yes. And third and then fourth segment, we'll actually announce something.
Yes.
So we're going to be right back.
So
we're gonna be right back.
Come on in, y'all. We'll take a seat, hang out, get your popcorn, get somebody cute with you, have a couple of shots and nuzzle up. It is Musician Loves Honey right here on social media shows. We'll be right back after we pay these bills.
Hi, I'm Glenn Alex, and I am inviting you to watch Pablo Miguel's Manifesting Your Dreams every Monday at 3 p.m. on socialmediashows.com. You won't regret it.
Hello, fabulous girls and boys. I'd like to invite you guys to watch my show on 7 o'clock till 8 on Mondays. It's called The Fab Life with JC, and my show is about my expressive love for the fashion industry, anything under the fashion planet, designers, models, fashion shows, events, and it's also my love for my sci-fi fantasy horror flicks and pop culture and music. So be there. Chowder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Musician Loves Honey right here on social media shows. Of course, I'm Kevon Tyree, and this is Maria.
The musician and the honey?
No. You are the honey. I am the musician. You need to get that together, girl.
Well, I'm not giving up.
All right, well, you know what? We're going to go on a karaoke night. We got to do that on the show. We're going to prove once for all who is who. All right, see.
I am the musician. And
you gotta show and prove over here, honey. You can't just be talking that much. You gotta show and prove.
Do you want me to sing right now?
I do want you to sing right now.
Okay.
That way your cat can go ahead and howl with you. All right.
You're so bad.
I'm just saying. So anyway.
Anyways.
All right, without further ado, we want to bring our guest on to kind of go in and get to the topic at hand. And of course, as we do with all our guests, welcome.
How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Now, for those for those who do not know you, please say your name for the world.
I'm Lorraine Yard.
And what do you do, miss, if we may ask?
Goodness, where do I start?
Yo, well,
I'm a musician and a honey myself.
Oh, well, see, if you're a musician in a honey, if you could sing and play, you definitely are the musician in a honey.
Actually, no, I manage musicians.
Okay.
I have an entertainment company.
Right.
And I'm an entrepreneur. I have several different businesses: a technology company, a company that's focusing on female health and women's products.
Okay.
And I do consulting for other businesses.
Ah.
And I'm also going to be writing a book, and that's how I ended up here.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So and that gets to the meat of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. The meat of the matter. All right. Now, do you have a working title for the book?
I do.
And the title is?
It's called Understanding a Woman.
Understanding a Woman.
Uh-huh.
All right. So.
You guys would like to read that book, I'm sure.
Well, you know what I mean. Steve Harvey had his book. You know,
well, yeah.
Think like think like a man, act like a woman, that kind of thing, right? He had that. He had the 2 movies. He got a lot of money out of it. Obviously, good. Shout out to Steve Harvey. Very cool. All right. So, what made you decide that this book was a necessity to come out of you? What made you decide that this was something that you wanted to do?
I actually attended a book signing for a guy that wrote a book called Understanding a Man.
Okay.
And my significant other was on the panel, and they were asking the panel questions. Women put their questions into a little jar where they were anonymous questions, and it was actually very interesting. But upon leaving, I kind of, just kind of said, but really you guys need to understand the women too. I mean, we are complex, but also very simple. So I just said it tongue in cheek and did a post on Facebook. And then I was just thinking about it, like, you know what, this is actually a pretty good idea. He's got a book out there called Understanding a Man, then why not accompany it with something that helps you guys understand us better?
Okay.
So that was kind of like the genesis of it, and I just communicated with him, reached out to him, and he's like, you know what, I've been thinking about that. Some people have talked about it before, but it hasn't felt right. And he was actually, I think he was on vacation in California, taking a couple of days off. He said he was looking for a sign, and I was that sign. So that's how it came about. So, and I feel very strongly about it as well. I think, I don't think we're that difficult to understand. I think if you guys just listen better and paid attention better, then we'd have better relationships. So,
I think it's good on both sides, but I don't want to jump it too much. Sorry. Go.
Yeah. Well.
Go ahead.
This woman, I've known this woman for so long, over a year now.
Not longer than that, I think.
Yeah. So I've known her so much, and I see all her posts on Facebook. And I am the kind of woman that I will post something on Facebook. It doesn't it doesn't pertains to me what I'm posting,
right.
and that
No,
doesn't
that's what I hear. Okay.
well, listen. So
I'm listening.
every time I post something on Facebook, it doesn't pertains to me. So when I look on their others' posts, I know that it doesn't pertains to them. But
right.
at the other side, I don't know too that. I don't know if it pertains to you or not. See what I'm saying?
Likewise,
I don't know. Yeah,
likewise.
exactly. So now, when she posted this,
well, I'll tell you what I posted.
My wheels are turning on it, but I got you. I'm waiting.
Let me read it to you. Okay, so it was a post and it said, "Dear men, you might think she wants your car, your money and gifts, but the right woman wants your time, your smile, your honesty, your effort, and you choosing to put her as a priority."
Right.
And then Maria went off.
No, I didn't went. No. I didn't went off. I'm actually trying to put. Okay.
Wait. Let's get the response to it, which is in there.
Okay, hold on.
So let's go to the response of said post,
let me find,
and then let the fireworks begin.
Okay,
all right. Let's do it that way first.
It says.
Right. All right.
It says, "Sweet Lorraine, guys don't care." With due respect to you and your post, I don't care as much as men don't. So to answer your questions, ladies, do you agree? Based on my opinion, I don't give a damn what guys think.
Okay.
I'm not finished yet.
Oh, I'm sure it's more. So please keep.
I would say women shouldn't be explaining themselves to their men or to their significant other. When we're talking about understanding women, it shouldn't be an issue about understanding women because we are more transparent than men. I prefer them to think whatever they want to think about me instead of finding the real me. At the end of the day, I know who I am, and I hope that would help your ongoing project.
Okay. I can think of.
She deleted the rest of it. I think, oh no, there's more here.
Oh, go please, come on.
Okay, so
come on, bring it home, Jen.
A friend of mine asked, when you say guys, this is what the target is, when you say guys don't care, are you talking about literally all guys, or are you talking about only the ones who you've met? Just asking for clarity so that I can understand exactly how I feel. She says, "Oh, Robert dear."
Robert, yeah.
I'm talking particularly to most of them. Mm-hmm. You're probably not one of them. I don't know. I've seen all types from my friends, few of my exes. I saw how these women voice out there in social media from the strangest stories. I might be wrong. There must be something that I've missed. My point is, if a woman has to write this letter on this post, then that woman shouldn't be with any man. This letter validates mistrust, insecurity, and unpreparedness to be with a guy. In my opinion, a woman should put herself out there when she's ready to accept how most guys treat women, bad or good. Knowing their self-worth and self-confidence be taken in consideration first. Do you want to hear my response?
I mean, listen, we're already in the rabbit hole, man. Let's dig our way out. All right, let's go.
Maria.
Yes.
Honestly, Maria, it sounds you might have been hurt and are bitter. This post is really to open discussion, just like it has. There are good men and good women out there, and the fact is that we are different. So when you finally find a good man, he might need your help in understanding you and your needs, and vice versa.
And my answer is?
LOL, I'm not looking, and no intention of looking, dear.
All right, so...
And it goes on, but anyway.
Right, okay,
it goes on and on.
That's wild and interesting on so many levels. All right.
Let me say something. Well,
you said plenty already on Facebook.
I just want to clarify something.
Okay.
No. I just want to clarify.
Are you sure you want to clarify this?
Yeah, no. I just want to clarify something between me and Lorraine. It doesn't matter.
It wasn't personal.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
We know that.
I mean, granted, if it was personal, I don't think we would have like a mud wrestling match here.
Which might be quite interesting.
It should be interesting for me. That's for them. I'd be like, hey, yeah, baby.
I think it's kind of hot here.
Two parts of mud wrestle, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Now you could talk to this because my point of view on it, and we can kind of segue this in time to what you think about your book, and because obviously our subject and it's kind of connected. Mm-hmm. I've always felt that men and women are more similar than different, and I say that obviously. First off, I want to say that every comment that someone makes, rather seriously or in jest, is in lieu of their experiences and who they are as a person. Mm-hmm. I've always felt that way. You know what I mean? I'm granted, we have sense of humor and blah, 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 blah.
That's your opinion.
Right, it's an opinion of a certain situation.
Like what I said, you'll never know what they're going through.
But, I'll just say it plainly because I don't know how to beat around the bush with this. I do think she's jaded. I do think you're jaded. I do think you're very jaded.
When I read that, that's what I.
That's exactly what I did. Right, I do think that.
I just wanna, I love to stir the pot.
I wasn't making it personal.
Oh yeah, no,
the idea was to open discussion.
Yes, exactly.
I get that. I
would love to have Maria as one of my, people that I interviewed in the book. Because I'd like to hear her story.
Right.
I just love to stir the pot. Let's put it that way.
I don't even think she understands her story yet, but I digress. Right? Why? I said it. I said that.
Oh,
you don't understand your own story yet.
I do understand my own story.
No, you don't. I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah.
I am letting that go.
The point that she's not looking for a man and isn't intending to look for a man.
No, that's a beautiful thing.
That's fine. I mean,
that's
there's
great.
nothing wrong with being independent. There's also nothing wrong with having somebody, a partner in your life who you can do, share things with, and
which I agree with as well.
Be a team with. So I mean, either way's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of team.
This type of stuff. See, to where we all agree is to be your own individual and to walk in that and stand in that and not feel like you need anyone to support you is important.
There's a good point in the book that actually my friend who's supporting me on this project, Elan King, wrote called Understanding a Man.
Right.
And basically it's a chapter where it refers to independent or interdependent woman.
Correct.
So you could be an independent woman, right? Mm-hmm. You can also be an interdependent woman, meaning you can be independent, stand on your own 2 feet, but also be in a relationship and rely on somebody else at the same time.
Well, yeah, because there's different aspects of yourself.
That's kind of what,
and that is correct.
Right.
I mean, I've known many people who are in their field very independent, very strong-willed, very much the independent person you would seem to be. But in other aspects of their lives, very interdependent.
Right. So you understand what I'm saying?
Of course I do.
Yeah. Well, in my own opinion is I all throughout my life I'm not young anymore, and what I realize every time I don't have a man in my life, I am more successful and more productive. When I have a man in my life, I don't know why. Just totally.
Maybe you have the wrong man in your life.
I mean, I would say something else. I would say something else.
Probably right, but
maybe
I would say something else because
you haven't found the right man yet.
I mean, because there's multiple things to that though.
Right.
There is the partner that does not support you, and there's the partner that you take time for that supplements the time you was doing something else.
Right.
And there's a difference.
That's true.
So for the person that's not supporting you, then that's a totally different thing, and that obviously holds a lot of people back, men and women.
Right.
But for the person that you take that energy into the project, and then you put it into them. That's not a bad thing, of course, but it can't be the excuse for why you're not doing when he or she is like, you could be doing that this whole goddamn time.
You should both be on your grind.
That's what I'm saying. You could be doing it the whole time and taking care of business because I knew who you were when I got with you. So all you got to do is just go hustle, and I'll be here when you got some time. And they're out there. It's just obviously you didn't meet them.
Yes. Well, with these past few months that I've been doing social media shows, it's not like I don't try. I try to because you'll never know who the opportunity to have the right man, right? So I give chances to few men, and when they voice out their interest in me, and I try to open that door, and then I don't know how to say it, but it's just like I felt like if I open this door totally, you're like I'm missing something that I'm doing, and I'm like I just totally just like no.
But that's it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to explain it.
The subject of this discussion is taking
advantage
or being taken advantage.
Exactly.
So the question is, has someone taken advantage of you, maybe, or?
I would say in her case, yes.
Right. Have you been taken advantage of?
Well,
I don't think Maria's the one to take advantage of somebody.
I don't want anybody, and nobody wants to be taken advantage of. No. But let me actually answer that question. I believe every person in this planet earth has been taken advantage and taking advantage.
At some point.
And yes, in probably it's not like in different ways.
Different
it's
ways.
not like really.
There's nothing wrong to be a giver, being a giver and a taker.
Exactly.
As long as it's mutual, it's reciprocal. If
Yes.
you're both giving and taking, it's fine.
Right.
But
if
if
it's
one-sided,
right. If it's healthy or
yes.
prearranged, where you both have an
Right.
understanding,
but if
then it's right.
yeah.
But once it becomes toxic or
that's
unhealthy,
when it starts
that's
to
when it's
become
right.
it starts to feel that something isn't right, and then they start to feel they're being unappreciated.
Okay.
And,
Yes. Well, to answer that question, let me tell you, I think I've been.
How are you
I've
answering
been
the question
I've
when
been
she
more a
answered the
taker.
question?
I've been more a taker than a giver.
okay, all right.
How are you going to answer the question when she answered the question?
No, but she's answering from her perspective.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you say that?
But she did.
She did not.
She did.
She just was like, wait a minute.
No, she did.
All right. So, from my point of view on all this, and I get all everything you ladies have said, because both of you have very valid points. To go to things in the book on how how to understand women, I've always felt that men and women have more in common than more differences, and it always seems like that they pay more attention to the differences than the commonalities.
Maybe because of the different. I think because the differences are significantly more different, like that.
Well, give me an example of what you mean.
Communication. I'll use communication as probably the best example.
Okay.
Women communicate. We're talkers. When we have something on our mind, we talk about it.
We
express our
we
feelings.
put it on the
can't
table.
hold it. People say I can't hold water, right? Because I can't. When I've got something to say, I say it, right?
Okay.
Men socially have been told they shouldn't express their feelings. It shows weakness.
That is true.
So in a relationship, men don't express how they feel, and that's a huge problem.
This is a good. We talked about this a few weeks ago.
We did.
Misinterpretation of how someone feels because men don't express how they feel.
But see, this is where I think that it's different now than it was, say, 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Different.
I actually believe that it is.
Well, I'm not generalizing because some guys are expressive. I'm not
right, and there are some guys that still do that.
And it depends on how you brought up. It depends on your upbringing and what you saw in your home and how your mother and father were and how they communicated and the kind of career you have and whether you're in the public eye or whatever. It's a bunch of different things. But in general, it's kind of a known fact that men aren't as open as women.
I just feel like that's not as true as it used to be.
Okay, well,
I disagree on that.
That's
too,
good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know from a man.
Right, and the only reason I say that is because, and we brought this up on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Because a lot of men as of lately have grown up in women-centric homes, where there wasn't their fathers wasn't around. There wasn't a lot of male role models outside of their peers or whatever the case was. So in a lot of instances. Of course, to your point, some men can go the polar opposite of that.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Right, and be that. But I think for a huge degree of it, because they've had that type of household and they've had to deal with women the majority of their lives growing up, they've learned to actually be more vocal and to kind of speak their minds more so on an even playing field. And conversely, women, because they want to be seen on the even playing field as men, have learned some of those male characteristics, and they've become in some instances very withdrawn and not want to really say how they feel about things.
And that creates a problem in communication right there. So either way,
it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's an issue with communication. I would say it's an issue with, for lack of a better way to say it, social norms, because the norms have been blended.
Well, the problem is the women are now taught to be like men. Right, socially,
to some degree,
right?
Yes.
But you can still be independent and be a woman.
Of course,
is really what where I'm going with this book, and because this is for women that want to be in a relationship, want to have their men understand them. Right. But I mean, socially, even I think to your point, actually, women now have taken on some of those characteristics, and they want to be seen as independent, and they can take care of themselves. Yeah. I mean, I'm that kind of woman. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm still a woman. Right. And I do think that we've lost our identity to a certain degree.
But I think that's on both sexes.
Yeah, I agree.
And the example I use again, and I think from another, for all the stuff that I'm talking about for Inside Baseball, check out our last episodes on Musician Loves Honey, by the way, that we know we're talking about.
It's actually,
yeah, you can find it on socialmediashows.com and of course other shows here on Facebook. Right. Anyway, I talked about a good point 20 years ago. Remember Fight Club?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very influential show,
Mm-hmm.
very much into the lexicon even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about how they wanted to, basically because they had so much women femininity in their lives growing up,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know if one was really what they needed at
Right.
that point because they felt their masculinity was so suppressed, which is why they came up with the ideology that they came up with in the movie. And there's some credence to that because of, and obviously I don't agree with this to a huge extent, but the women's rights of the 70s and 80s, the Me Too movement of now, all the things in the middle that women's tried to really bolster themselves as equals as individuals, where men have felt like, where is my place now? If you're in the same table as me, now where is my place? So what?
But just the fact that we have a Me Too movement shows you that there's an issue, right? And this goes back to your topic
of course.
being taken advantage of, right?
Yes.
Because men have, for example, in the entertainment industry, men still dominate that industry, and that's why you have so many women from that industry who have been taken advantage of in ways that
right, because Kesha's a great example of that, right? Of last present years, because it was she went to trial with Dr. Luke, her producer, and
I mean, it's being taken advantage of financially, sexually,
of course,
everything, everything.
But I mean, that's so. In the way to say it with music,
and it's kind of like I mean, okay, we've all heard of the casting couch, right? It was kind of like the unspoken thing. But it
was the thing that everyone knew about, everyone discussed. No one really discussed it on a serious level.
Right.
It was more of that's just a business. You deal with it or you don't deal with it. But that's your past that you deal with.
Men taking advantage of women. A prime example of it right there.
Right. Now, where I slightly disagree, and I do mean slightly because you're right, is that situation is not so much about men but about power. The only issue is obviously mostly have had the power.
But at the same time, then I'm going to be open and say, in a lot of cases, and I'm going to use Bill Cosby as an example. I hate to do that, but okay, I'm going to use. Why were these women with Bill Cosby in the first? They knew what they were getting into. They were with him because he was successful, he was rich, he was on TV, and they were looking at most of the time. I'm not generalizing. I'm not generalizing because I'm looking. I mean, I'm being fair here. They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Well, let's.
So I have to be fair.
Let's just acknowledge Stephen Duran. He was talking about what you were mentioning earlier at the bottom.
And his response is sometimes women don't want to hear what guys have to say. Now, I agree with that.
About the communication part.
Right. Now, I agree with that with both points.
Yeah.
And to his point, I would say when someone tells you how they feel about it and you don't agree, or if you're just in an emotional place where you can't hear that person regardless, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you spill it out to them because they're not going to soak that in.
Right.
Period. And that's on both sides as well.
I actually did another post because Facebook is amazing. I did a post yesterday, actually, but it was at my mum and dad's would have been their anniversary on the 4th of November, and I made a comment about how they had a great marriage. They didn't agree on everything, but they agreed to disagree gracefully.
And I agree with that.
And that's how you don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to agree with each other, but if you can agree to disagree and do it gracefully and not hold a grudge or hard feelings,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how
it's smoother relationship. That's how supposedly.
But that's for me, it's always been difficult because I've never been married. I'm 43, and I've always heard the ideal of.
And why is that?
What?
And why is that?
Well, because no one is amazing enough to lock me down yet. That's why. Bam!
Oh boy.
All right. No, anyway.
And then we're talking about Maria's having issues.
Hey, I've had my places.
You also have real expectations as well.
Well, for a long time I did. For a long time I have. Not anymore.
We're gonna go on break and we will come back on the third segment.
And we're gonna get more of Musician Loves Honey, more of this beautiful segment with this lovely lady Lorraine here. This is social media shows. We're gonna pay some bills. We're gonna go right back into the meat of the matter. Y'all stay tuned.
much so friends and fam saw me and said, ooh, broke every law, broke every taboo. To be the one you needed me to put it all blew up, and now all I can do is move on with guilt in my soul. So clap your hands, love someone, but you had to let them go. Had to let them go. Clap. Ooh, I love it when you press your lips on me. Oh, and ooh, I love it when you want my ecstasy. Oh, 'cause ooh, you get me so high.
Welcome to Musician Loves Honey, and the topic is getting heated and heated here on our studio.
We're talking about getting used or being used or using somebody, obviously.
I would like to take this opportunity. I would like to take this opportunity. I actually planned this to ask you this question.
Oh, see, she did tell me she was gonna try to put me in the hot seat.
Oh.
And you know what? Bring it on, honey. Because you already know how I do.
But
You already know how I do. So come on.
I was trying to get you on that question, but you actually started it
Okay.
with the musician loves.
Okay.
Hey, I
a
love this
musician
stuff.
taking
I love this
advantage
stuff.
of women musicians.
Okay. Right. Well, in the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
Like, so I was like, okay, so I learned a lot of
Okay.
things about you in the past few weeks.
Yes, that is
And,
true.
we were talking, we always talk like 24 hours a day.
Right.
Not necessarily, but
She likes to nibble on my ear, No pun intended. All right. No pun intended. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
But you are still single,
Yes.
never been married,
Correct.
and you're a player.
I wouldn't classify myself as that.
Oh,
I would not classify myself
okay.
that way.
All right.
I would not
all
classify
the women,
myself that
all
way.
the women out there that has
Define
been
a player.
taken
Define
advantage
a
by
player,
this
Blair.
man.
Right. Now, I mean,
that's the question. Taken
Okay.
advantage.
Right.
See, now I could do this. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know I could do that, but the truth of the matter is,
Oh boy.
right? The truth of the matter is, I am a single man, and single men date. Now, to clear it up, to answer your question, obviously directly, a player is someone who purposefully looks for a woman and wants nothing else but to use her body or take advantage of her in some aspect and discard her. And that has never been my intention.
Oh, so you never discard anybody.
No, I mean, my thing is, if you have a relationship and the relationship ends, you could say that's discarding. But
bullshit.
That is not bullshit. That is
All
a
right. So let me
fact.
ask you a question. How many women are you dating right now?
I am seeing a few. I'm talking to a couple.
As a player.
Right?
Exactly,
it is not.
right?
I'm single.
See, this is what
I am a
going.
single
If you're
man.
seeing a few women.
I am single.
All right. I'm really sorry.
Well, how do the women feel about it?
Well, some understand, and those who don't, I
And
also understand.
there's a difference right there between women and men. You see, because you feel that it's okay to date a few women, but women, more often than not, most women want to be in a monogamous relationship.
But that's also
you're saying
where
you disagree with that.
But I also feel that ideology for a lot of people is outmoded. And I say this for this primary reason, because I've met many women in my life, in my experience, who have the same perception of it as I do. They're single, they date. It doesn't mean that they're in any one particular.
So are you cool with a girl that you're dating other guys?
Yes.
That's unusual.
Yes, I am.
Because most guys aren't cool with that. But
But
it's okay for them to do it.
No, because, no one is perfect. We all have our hypocrisies in very certain ways. I work very hard to not be a hypocrite in this situation, because if I'm going to do it, then obviously you can do it too. Now, once emotions get involved and you want more, that's when, as you point out, that's where conversation and communication comes up. And she can say, I agree, I want to do that with you, or I'm comfortable where I am, and maybe we should take some time apart and reevaluate from there, just as I could for myself. So I do not see myself as a player. I see myself as a single man dating. Now, if I was a player, I'd be, that's like a step away from like pimp status. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing that.
Can we put the definition of player from this?
Exactly.
Go ahead. I mean, go ahead, do it.
Well,
I don't even know.
like what I was saying.
What I was saying
is, we were talking. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to put your men.
Whoever's man is today.
Right.
Yes, but
this is.
I'm not gonna mention your name because I know what the story is. And like what we were talking, you have to actually. Are you being honest with this woman?
Yes.
From the beginning, because what I'm hearing from you, honestly, is you are just saying those things to kind of cover your
no, actually that's not even true anymore.
The reason why I said that is because a woman wouldn't actually ask more from you if you literally put that line in the beginning.
Well, this is the thing, right? And I'll even inside baseball it just a little, all right? For me, it was I didn't really know what I wanted, but I knew the person was interesting. I knew I wasn't going to lock it in just yet, but I knew we had to put in the time to see if it was worth doing so. Right? Because, as I told her, I like certain people hit a lot of check marks where I may not be ready for it, but they're worth going down the road to see if it's worthwhile. You know what I mean?
It goes back to what I said before about having realistic expectations.
But this is a realistic expectation.
Maybe you have unrealistic expectations.
In the past, I would not say so.
To give everything that you're looking for from a woman, do you have all that to give? All these things, this laundry list of things that you're looking to check off.
Well, look, we all have things that we're looking for,
right?
And someone could say they're realistic or unrealistic, and that's debatable to say the least. But in my case, I'm not looking for nothing that outrageous. She doesn't have to be a millionaire or anything like that. Just obviously something that's somewhat that you don't mind looking at, something that you obviously don't mind talking to, someone that has characteristics that you find appealing, that are good things to have for someone on a long-term basis. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is just chemistry.
So you're saying that all these women that you're dating, you don't see any possibility to
any future.
Yeah, in the future, yeah.
Well, everyone that I've talked to or am talking to have always had the potential of that because they were interesting enough for me to want to talk to them in the first place. But as you get to know them, then other things come up. Things can make you say, this is okay, I like this person, or I don't like that certain thing. And that's kind of they're not bad people.
It sounds to me like you want to have your cake and eat it too, personally.
No, that's not true.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That is not true.
That's what I'm going to now.
No, that's not true. But let's flip this though. All right. Now I already know in her case, because she is so.
How did I get
it's 2 against 1 here? You know that.
Oh, listen. I grew up with 3, 4 sisters and my mom and a grandmother.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
It's no wonder he's single.
Right. Yeah. So I'm fine. So so you guys can go ahead and beat him up. I'll be like Rocky Balboa at the end of the bout. I'll be beaten up, but I'll walk out. I'll be all right.
I'm not done with you yet, so you can.
Oh, hold on. Too late for that. So because no. Because in your case for this.
Okay, we are going.
No commercial break. No, in your case for this. See, I already told you it ain't go down like that. Nope. In your case, you've had relationships.
All right.
No. Because in your case for relationships,
okay.
because your stuff was so, because you took it so personally.
What
right?
Personally?
With your last couple of relationships, right?
It's 8 years. Come on, it's not personal.
Then you should be dating if it's been a long time. If it's been that long, you should be out there seeing what's out there for you. Now, obviously, you don't have to do what I do, but you could be out there seeing, okay, well, I'm open to it when it presents itself.
That's what I told you earlier. I tried to.
She said that.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Then she closed up, and I tell you why she
closed up. But I know why she closes up. The same reason.
Being hurt.
Exactly that.
Who wants to be hurt?
Exactly.
But this is where the dissonance.
Scared of being taken advantage of.
This is where the dissonance. This is where the dissonance of our communication is here. All right. You could say that I'm a player. I could say that I am, in my best way possible, putting myself out there to see who fits me. and to see
okay.
who
But then-
fits my situation
I
best.
think
And I'm not being closed off to it. Now, am I looking for it every day? Of course not, because I have things to do. I'm trying to handle my business.
Yeah.
I'm independent. I do my thing.
that's given.
But if I
that's
see
understanding.
right, but if I see someone attractive and we set it off a little bit,
Mhm.
then why not go out with her a couple of times? Why not see what she's about? Why not see if she's interesting? Why not be real enough to be like, I'm a responsible
Well,
adult
I'm going to go there
and
right
say,
now. I'm gonna,
this is how I do
question.
stuff, and see,
I'm gonna
you
go
choose
there right now.
one way or another.
So, are you sleeping with multiple women at one time?
That's
No, I
I
am
have
not.
the same
Okay,
mind.
I am
okay.
not. I mean,
So-
I have. I
That's
will
just-
say that. I have.
Hold on to your horns. So you're saying that
Hold on to
you
what
are-
horns?
You're not sleeping. All right, you're not sleeping with multiple women.
Yes,
But
but
you are sleeping with a single woman, with a woman.
yes,
And you wanna try other things, correct?
yeah, I do.
So that means he's a player and he's trying to taking advantage of this.
No, I am not taking advantage, and this is why. And this is absolutely why. My crust of it is all this.
Hi Aretha, I just want to say that.
All right, now someone who takes advantage of never gives the individual the choice because they choose for their things unilaterally, and they say, "I'm going to do what I do, and whatever you're on, because I'm not even giving you that option." I do not abide by that. I say this is how I'm doing things, and you have the choice if we're going to see each other to go forward with it, and if you choose not to, obviously I respect the decision. But I'm never going to make someone feel like that they don't have the option.
But there's a big but in that one, because women, going back to what I said before,
Yes.
by nature, women are nurturers and they're more emotional than guys.
But
But even,
on the flip side
so
of that,
even-
because I know what you're going to say, but the
even
flip side
though-
of that is for a woman that could have the same ideology that I do, because men are
so the perfect thing for you would be an open marriage, basically. That's what you're looking for, is an open marriage.
I'm not looking for an
Open
open
relationship,
marriage.
yeah, open,
That was- I'm
yeah,
not
open
looking for an open
relationship for
marriage.
this man.
Not at
Yeah.
all. No, I'm not. I mean, it sounds good, but truthfully, no, I'm not. But
So-
my point to you is, conversely,
Uh-huh.
if a woman was doing what I was doing, and she was dating a guy, and she's, was straightforward with him, wasn't playing any games, just told him what the deal was, you would say, typically, because that person is men are so territorial, right? They would be like, that would be not kosher for them.
Most times, yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, so it goes both ways.
No, it does.
But
in
also that goes back to the commonality
But if-
of men and
But
women.
if a woman's doing that, she's called a hoe. She's called a money
Yes,
grabber,
exactly. Yeah,
or
the
a gold digger, or-
degraded and everything.
right? Because
Yeah.
most of the time she's considered to be using men.
But you know
So-
what?
I don't agree with that. Though.
This man.
I don't
has-
agree with that at all.
Most men and women actually would say that.
But that is a misnomer and incorrect.
Not
as
in
far
this
as
town,
I'm
it's not.
Oh, of course not. In Vegas, it's not. But in general, I feel that is wrong because point blank, it's hypocritical. So a man can sleep around and be Dr. Green
But
Thumb.
it's hypocritical, yeah.
Exactly.
Society is hypocritical.
I am aware of that.
But
And-
that's just because of the norms that you
Of course.
and again, going back, you say that we're more similar than different. I think men and women are still different.
I don't
Men-
agree with that. I believe we have more in common than we don't.
we have differences as well. Going back to the fact that men are less emotional than women. It's a fact. I don't care. You could say, "Oh no, society doesn't."
I'm
No.
sorry. I don't agree with
but
that
the-
because I've seen as much as I've seen women cry, I've seen men cry.
Right, and I've seen plenty of females that are bitches too, and
Exactly.
Right,
Of
but
course, yeah.
I'm generalizing, and
Aware.
so I'm not trying to listen. I can't. We can't answer everybody's questions, but we're speaking in general about the situation.
Yeah.
So in general, if a woman goes out and sleeps with a bunch of different guys, or has a bunch of, she's called a hoe, a bitch, a gold
Everything,
digger,
yeah.
she's called,
Yeah.
understand? But it's cool for a guy. In
Degraded.
general,
True.
True,
and that is wrong.
And in general, women want to be in a monogamous relationship. Most women, back to my post. The right
Yes.
woman
Yes.
is going to be the one that's going to want to be in a monogamous relationship and want to
Right.
the right woman.
And the right man wants the
And
same.
what happens a lot
men
of the
want
time
the same
is
thing.
those right, and why, and I'm going to use Maria as an example, why those right women end up being singles, because those right women find the wrong men
Right.
and end up being taken advantage of
Yes.
and being hurt, and
Right.
then they end up closing up and not wanting to be in relationships, which is sad.
Right.
So,
But conversely, it happens the same way. Like myself, of course, I've been hurt in relationships.
oh,
You know, yeah. I mean, you know,
Is that the reason why you're taking advantage?
of women that
stop it. All right. I mean, you. I mean, I'm not taking enough advantage because you ain't letting me near that spam, girl. I mean, damn, what's up with that? You ain't letting me crack it with no cans. You ain't letting me nibble.
Delusional.
I'm just saying, you ain't letting me put no oil on it. Nothing.
Oh my
It's
God,
delusional.
It's just so
big
bad.
time.
Right.
But anyways,
But-
yeah, we are talking about being taken or taking advantage.
taking advantage or being taken advantage.
Yes, and you know what? The thing is, nobody wanted to be taken advantage of.
Of course.
And you know what? It's probably we have different definition of being taken advantage and taken advantage of.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. Is make sure you move forward without stepping on anybody's toes. That's the main thing.
Right.
You know, like what I was talking to this man. In my opinion, he is taking advantage of other women, but in his opinion is no, I'm putting everything in there, they like it or not, but still for me as a woman, that is taking advantage of.
Now, me as a man, you're just.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Scary.
it's the end of our third segment, and thank you so much, Lorraine. You are
I'm not
amazing.
sure if we even answered the question, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But before
No,
before we go to our friend, please, will you please let us know when the book will be
Yes.
ready? That way we know when to
Okay,
look for.
it's not going to be till September of next year, but
Okay.
we're working on gathering research right now. So Maria and I might have some more conversations.
Right,
because
okay.
This is being written by regular women. It's not a relationship specialist. Nobody who's a doctor or anything.
Right.
It's real women talking about real subjects and real
Okay.
topics that concern them and real things they want guys to understand about them.
Right. Okay. Well.
How if I don't want
Listen,
to be understood by men?
Right. I feel very strongly from growing up how I grew up. So.
Right.
I mean, and I obviously we could do this till the cows come
Sure,
home. So
exactly,
it's,
and that's
it's
why it's fun.
Right. It is. It's yeah. I'm a debater by nature, which is probably why I'm here.
There you go.
Right. And before we go, of course, please give them a shout out to any of the links or stuff that you have in case you need
Right
people
now,
to
it's
get
just
to.
my main page, my social media page is Lorraine Yard. That's my name on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not really big on it yet. But look out for the hashtag understanding a woman.
Understanding a
Hashtag
woman.
Understanding a
Understanding
woman.
a
We're using that more and more.
Especially
in the
men
coming
who's taking
months.
advantage of women. Go and
Yeah,
understand the woman.
yeah,
first.
You know
Hashtag
what? See,
understanding a
this
woman.
that just sounds like this woman likes to stay on this blinders.
And for the women
Blinders!
out there as well,
Blinders!
hashtag understanding a man. Check out my friend Elam's book, Understanding a Man.
Right.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it doesn't apply to this one here.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply to
You know, because I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where I've been. All right, I'm stopping.
All right, we will be right back on the last segment, and thank you so much for staying with us. Thank you, Steven, Aretha, actually
JC,
Aretha,
of course, yep, our
JC,
fashionista.
yes.
Mhm.
We have Colin, we have so much here.
Yep.
Yes, and if I miss you guys,
Appreciate you nonetheless,
Yes.
man. Thank you for hanging out. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be right back. This is Musician Loves Honey on social media shows. Stay tuned.
Liar, liar, panties on fire.
What do you mean panties? It's pants on fire.
Oh my gosh, no, in my world, in my Rocky Horror world, it's, the televiewers, the beautiful televiewers, don't forget to watch Geezy and his frenemies every Monday night from 9 p.m., like Tylenol p.m., to 10 p.m.
Get it right.
only.
Get it right.
Social media.
Shows.
liar, liar, pants on fire.
I got it down, right?
JC, you didn't see that.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey! Liar, liar, Victoria's Secret on fire. Watch Gizzy and Frenemies every Monday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on social media
Shows.
Watch DZ and his friend and these.
Yes.
Yeah, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
Every Monday is raw, uncut, unscripted, unhinged insanity.
Impromptu comedy. And social media shows.
Yes.
Shut up and sit down.
You know that about putting on 7 back.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay.
Hi everyone. Hey, this is Joseph Skoda from the Maria and Joe Live TV. And hopefully you've been staying tuned for the last several weeks or the last several months. We try to get together every Thursday and tell you what's going on for today. We'll talk about social media, we'll talk about addictions, we'll talk about parties, a little bit of everything, and try to give you a little bit what's going on in the community or in our current affairs. So make sure you join us. It's a lot of fun to join Maria and Joe on Maria and Joe Live TV. Look forward to having you there. And make sure you leave us comments and suggestions of what we can do better to serve you. So have a great day. I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Musician Loves Honey, and this is Maria.
And this is Capon Tyree. We hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves, watching us run our jibs like crazy people, because that's what we do. I do, and she just tries to run her jibs because she thinks she's intelligent, but whatever. Right. We want to give love to our lovely guest, Lorraine, who was just here earlier. We were talking about being taken advantage and taking advantage of. It's a fun subject because obviously from her point of view, men and women have more difference than similarity based on social stuff, based on upbringing, society stuff. And to a huge point, she is correct. I obviously feel differently because, you know, I grew up with a lot of women, and I feel because of the last 40 years, a lot of things have been molded and kind of amalgamated, you know, I mean, blended together. So there's a lot of men with women characteristics, there's a lot of women with men characteristics. So I think a lot of those ideas.
I want to see the woman characteristic.
The woman of characteristics.
Yeah. I wanna see your woman side.
Oh, you want to see that? It's easy. It's easy. But I think that's just the gay side. I don't know if that's a woman's side. You know, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same. No, I'm not. I mean, nothing against them, of course. You know, they're cool people.
Yeah, nothing.
Right? Yeah, they're cool as heck. You know, I mean, that's not my orientation. I'm comfortable with the spam. Thank you very much.
That's a really nice topic, right?
It is a great topic.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You know what? Look at our chair.
Our chair is very nice. It's very high up.
Thank you to Georgie for actually our chairs.
Right. It makes us sure people feel even more insignificant. We appreciate that. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's real cool. All right. So, So before we go off, of course, we're gonna do, of course, all the loves and thank yous for everyone who's been checking us out. Go ahead and hit us a like, hit us a subscribe. I'm sure you got the comments in there, good and bad. We mind the bad ones as much as we mind the good ones, so go ahead and put it in there. And go ahead and hit us up on social media shows.com. And of course, we got to go ahead and get the page. Go ahead and like Musician Loves Honey on Facebook. Go ahead and hit us up. We'll go ahead and keep putting this episode on there as well as on social media shows. And look for this on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, we are all on social media. And if you guys all want to continue to send us all those ideas, what contest we're going to go to, please keep on sending Maria at socialmediashows.com or just send it, or just PM us, private message us.
Right. Now, I already got my idea because she always says that she's a musician, so I say karaoke. That's what I say. Yes, because you say you're a musician and the honey.
Tonight we're gonna be at Rock and Rollers tonight.
That's called a pivot, ladies and gentlemen, in Hermaphrodites. That's called a pivot. That's right. All right, no. Yes, we'll be at Rock and Rollers. All right, which is at East Karen, correct?
East Karen.
That's right. So go ahead.
I think it's Maryland and West Sahara.
Yes, Side Street.
Oh, okay.
It's Side Street. Yeah. You're right. So it's on Karen. It's in between right there. You can go there. It's between Maryland Parkway and Swenson. Yes, that's the location where it's at.
Okay.
It's right between them.
Okay.
Right. So you go ahead and check. Go ahead.
Revolutionradio2.com. It's gonna be there.
That's correct.
And a lot of artists, musicians, and they serve food, drinks, Patron tequila. Russell, you better have my Patron.
Don't drink too much, girl. Don't drink too much tequila. You know too much of that tequila because somebody might be like, ooh, I get some pickle spam tonight.
Yeah.
See, you gonna throw the stereotype at him? You gonna throw the stereotype at him, right? You're like,
and then I run away.
Okay. I like your defense. I like your defense strategy. That makes sense. That makes much sense. All right. So for those coming out, man, you're gonna have us both there at separate times over at the Rock and Roller. Come on out, check them out. It's gonna be a great time. A lot of good acts. You might find one that you fall in love with, man, or at least fall in like with. Get their merch, get their stuff, etc., etc., and make sure you check out revolutionradio2.com.
That is where you go get drunk and have fun with the artists, the singers, the musicians, not to find love. If you want to find love, don't do it.
Hold up. If you get drunk, then you're finding love just in the physical aspect. That's what I'm talking about.
When I'm drunk, I don't feel that physical aspect. I just...
You know what? I'm not going to comment on that statement. I'm going to let that ride. I'm going to let that ride right there.
Okay. No, you can comment.
No. That's too raunchy even for me. I'm not going to do it.
No, you can do it.
No, because
go ahead.
I always have to give you at least one break. I have to cut you some slack on one time in the show. This is the time I'm going to do it towards the end. But yeah, because that's just the thought I had is just way too crazy. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you don't know me well. So.
I know you well enough for. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. Stop that. See, she's thinking crazy stuff, y'all. Look at this person. All right, so look. Let's go ahead and get the sponsors out the way, please, before we get out of here.
I didn't have the list, but thank you for VIP Vacations.
VIP Vacations, all right. Of course, we got Bad Girl Radio, right?
Bad Girl Radio.
Right, Takeover Vegas.
Revolution Radio 2.com.
Of course. We got them all day long. Right, Time to Tint. Of course, for those who want to get their...
Permanent Spa Solution.
So for those who want to get their stuff tinted out there, go ahead, Permanent Tint. And of course, Permanent Spa Solutions. you can get 3 visits for $100. And we're talking about microblading or microbeading, excuse me, for the eyelashes.
Microbleeding?
Bleeding. Oh, you correct me in this instance. What? Micro what?
I don't know.
Microblading? Microblading, right? Microblading. And of course, you get the I'm saying it all wrong, y'all. I'm saying it all wrong. You get the facial, and of course, you get a teeth whitening, and you get all that for $100 with the code MLH40.
No. I thought it's 10.
No, 10. No, you're right. You're right. No, she's right. She's right. No, you're right. You're right.
You're bad. MLH.
That's right. I'm tripping you up. I'm tripping you up just because I can't know. You were right. I apologize. You're right.
MLH10
is
the discount code.
Right. So you go ahead and call them up. All right. And
what's the number?
I forgot my paper too. So that shows how prepared we are, ladies and gentlemen. But we will put that, of course, in we'll put that on the post with this here. That way we get all our sponsors the love they support that they deserve. And with that said, of course, last but not least, if you want to check us out on a live stream situation, please make sure, because we are 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that means you want to check us out at 6 p.m. If you're in Hawaii time, that means you want to check us out at 12 noon. So whatever your time zone is, please keep that in mind if you want to catch us live right here. But if you miss us, of course, don't fear, because you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, right here on Facebook, and of course on socialmediashows.com. All right? So, and of course, one last thing for all those out there that want to be shined out there, all you musicians that want to get your love, get your brand, get your new song, get your new single. Doesn't matter if you're independent artists, cover artists, coming through town, whatever. We want to support you. So come on in, shoot us up a DM or a message up here on any of our links. Of course, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And let us know what's going on with you, because we want to support you. You want to get your song, we want to have that played on our channel. Go ahead and hit us up with details, because we always need lovely, great musicians that need time to shine, and we want to help you with that.
Yes, and next week we're going to have another topic next week.
Yes, we are. And that topic is going to be goals.
No, life process.
Life process. Okay, I didn't remember.
Oh my God.
So this is...
the goals will be the other week.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
Life process. See how well oiled this machine is, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so life goals.
Yes, you're older, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the reason.
And
That's the reason?
Yeah, don't.
That's the reason? That's the reason I forget, because I'm old?
Yes.
Are we trying to say?
Yes.
All right, well, give me a couple of pills and, see me in the morning. And you didn't see it coming. Sing, baby, sing. Gotcha.
Next week, our guest next week.
Yes, it's going to be Mr. Block 2. He's a promoter, singer, and rapper here in Las Vegas. He's supposed to be bringing an act with him as well. So we'll see how that plans out. So we are looking forward to a great time with him. Go ahead and check us out. We will be here right here next week on the 13th, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And also, our other second guest will be Dominic Parisi. He is actually executive something at...
That's not very nice.
No, he is
he's an
executive host
of
Westgate.
All right.
Yeah, this guy actually met all the big performers in Hilton before, when it was Hilton. So he met Elvis Presley.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. This is one of the oldest individuals that's worked at the Westgate. He's worked there under various names. He's worked there under the Hilton, under the name before that, which I don't remember. Thank you very much. The International. Hotel. So he's known a lot of big name acts that has come and gone through that establishment for the year. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yes, and it's pretty good for life process.
It's good for that. And obviously, since we are a Vegas show, it's always good to see our history, because Vegas always reinvents itself and always seems like it discards its past history in a lot of ways. So it's always good to have someone who can kind of bring that back
fill
and
us in,
fill us in on what the lexicon of what Vegas is about and what brought us where we are today, and help us head towards tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I'm so bummed that we're ending the show for today.
Oh, come on, man. I mean it's an hour. It's our thing. Last time we went an hour and a half almost, so 2 hours. Oh my goodness. See, she was wearing me out, man. I mean, my goodness. Not the way I wanted to be worn out, but you know what? Hey, you take what you can take. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right?
See, see. we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, and hermaphrodites alike, I am Kevon Tyree. I am the musician, and this is Maria.
The musician and the honey.
Oh, she is so delusional, man. I don't know what is wrong with you, girl.
I think you're more delusional than I am.
I'm a guy. I'm supposed to think about delusional stuff. How do we get stuff?
Well, next week we'll see you back, right?